Good morning. If I can have your attention, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Richie Byer. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for the county, and I'd like to welcome you to County Government Day. One thing that I would like to do on the very front end, so we don't have any interesting ringtones going off, make sure your cell phones are silenced. A lot of people in the room, and we've got a lot of good content for you this morning, so we don't want you to hear that and not be listening to an interesting ringtone go off. This year, the theme for County Government Day is Counties Rise. This is a focus on resiliency, inclusion, solvency, empowerment. We have a great day of activities planned for you today. We are going to be able to do the outside activities. We think that we'll be able to get in most of the 5 rotations, so that's why you have name badges in different colors with your tour guides. We will probably cut everything off at noon and get you back in the building for lunch. So we'll miss one of the rotations, and we'll keep an eye on the weather and see if we can fit the 5th one in. We will. During those rotations, we will have opportunities for the students to register to vote if you have not already registered and you're eligible. So that will be during your courthouse tour. We also have demonstrations by our Public Works Department, the Jaws of Life by the City of Wetumpka's Fire Department, our Sheriff's Department's Special Operations Unit, and our EMA Department. As I mentioned, around 12, we think we'll reorganize for lunch. We'll be serving you a lunch catered by Smokin' S, and that lunch is in part due to not only the hard work of the staff getting all that set up for you, but Aero Disposal Services is our sponsor, and then Blue Ridge Water has provided waters for the day as well. You'll also have the opportunity to pick up a little swag bag from Aceta on the way out. So Miss Lisa Van Wagner will be manning a table down near the food, and you'll be able to get that. That way you don't have to carry it with you all day long. So for any of you who are going to take pictures today and put anything out on social media, we have a few hashtags for you to use, if you will. Hashtag Elmore CO Government Day, hashtag Elmore, and at Elmore COMM. That is our Twitter handle. So if you do that on social media, if you do that, that would be great for us. So at this time, I'm going to turn the floor over to our chairman, Commissioner Bart Mercer. He is the commissioner for District 4 in our county, and he is going to take you through the rest of the program.
Thank you, Mr. Byer. I want to welcome everybody here today to the 20th Annual County Government Day, which is taking place during the National Association of Counties Government Month. It's important for every citizen to know how their local government operates and what their local government does for them, which is why the Commission looks forward to hosting this event every year. Along with you learning more about your local government today, in the future, I hope that you will remember and think back about today and what you could do to serve your fellow citizens by seeking opportunities throughout the county to volunteer on different boards or committees that your elected officials appoint to. You could attend commission meetings, you could attend city council meetings, Board of Education's meetings, and become more informed about what takes place in your county, because the students in this room here today are our future leaders of the county, and your local governmental bodies affect many parts of your life that take place every day. So I encourage you to be a part of that process and be engaged, and we of course appreciate everyone being here today. I want to recognize some of our local elected officials, but before I do that, we want to first recognize the schools that are here today, and since we're not really sure where everyone is sitting, when I call your school's name, we want to hear from you because we want to know where you are in the room. The first one is Edgewood Academy. Where are you, Edgewood Academy? All right. All right. We also have Elmore County High School. There we go. There we go. That's what now we know where you are. Hopeful High School.
Come on, Hopeful. There you go.
All right, let's move on. Stanhope Elmore High School. All right, there we go in the back. Tallahassee High School. the Edge High School. Victory Christian School. All The next one is Victory Christian School.
They didn't show today.
And then we have, there we go, that's good. And then we have Wetumpka High School. All right. Good.
That quiet?
That was good. All right, so we appreciate everyone being here today, and we also appreciate your teachers and administrators for recognizing the importance of you attending this event today. It takes a large group of dedicated people and elected officials here in Elmore County to make our county and municipal government function properly. And also we have to ensure we have proper representation from Elmore County on the state level, our legislature. So we want to recognize our countywide elected officials and our legislative delegation members, and then we'll move on to recognizing some of the agencies in Elmore County that serve our citizens, where they'll share more about what they do here in our county. I will add that I'm very proud that our county commission has a great working relationship with our elected officials throughout the county and our agencies. I can tell you, if you were to be exposed to other county governments across the state and across the U.S., that's not the norm. Sometimes they spend more time arguing about things than they do actually serving as citizens, but we don't have to deal with that in the county, and we're very proud of that, and that's because we have such great leadership across the county. So I want to recognize this group. So as I call these elected officials' names, if you will, or just stand or raise your hand. I first want to call on our state legislators that represent Elmore County, and I will tell you, we got word this morning that they are going into sessions first thing this morning, so they may not be here, but Senator Will Barfoot, Senator Clyde Chambliss. Yeah, they convened this morning, and we know that our House of Representative members convene at 9, so they had to change their schedule. But those representatives for Elmore County are Representative Reed Ingram, Representative Troy Stubbs, and Representative Jerry Starnes. Also in this large group of elected officials that work for the county that is Mayor Willis, Mayor of Wetumpka. I'm sure if he's here with us today. Our Tallahassee City School Superintendent Brock Nolan. Elmore County Board of Education Superintendent Richard Dennis. And we also want to recognize our Board of Education members. I know we have a few of those here this morning. If you will, please raise your hand. Appreciate you being here. Our Circuit Clerk Michael Dozier. Our Sheriff Bill Franklin. And our County Coroner Dalen Gassett. Appreciate you being here. And we also want to recognize Lee Macon, our Revenue Commissioner. Probate Judge John Thornton. Thank you, Judge. District Attorney C.J. Robinson. Judge Bill Lewis, Circuit Judge Bill Lewis. Then we have Circuit Judge Joy Pace Booth. Circuit Judge Amanda Baxley. District Judge Patrick Pinkston. And District Judge Glenn Goggins. We appreciate what our fellow elected officials do for the citizens of the county, and appreciate y'all being here today. Let's give them a big round of applause for what they do for our county. The next organization we have with us today is one that works very closely with all levels of government in the county, and that is the Elmore County Economic Development Authority. We have with us today Lisa Van Wagner, sitting right here. Lisa, if you'll raise your hand. That organization, they have a primary focus, and that is to ensure that we have a strong and healthy local economy, and they work on projects that also include our quality of life throughout the county. So we appreciate what this organization does and what their board does for the county. Now I want to introduce my fellow county commissioners. We have with us serving in District 1, Commissioner Henry Hines. He represents an area of Deachville, Eclectic, and the Titus areas. Then we have also with us Mac Daughtry that represents District 2, which includes Redland, Eclectic, and Tallahassee areas. Commissioner Dennis Hill that represents District 3, which is Wetumpka, Walsboro, and Redland areas. And then we have Commissioner Desiree Lewis Jackson that represents District 5, which includes Millbrook, Casada, and Wetumpka areas. I have the honor of serving as County Commission Chairman, and I represent District 4, which includes the Elmore and Millbrook areas. We have a great group of people serving as County Commissioners, and I appreciate what each of them do for our citizens every day. along with this large group of elected officials that we have just recognized, we have some agencies with us today that we also want to recognize, and they provide a wide range of services to our citizens throughout the county. We appreciate each of these representatives from these agencies joining us today, and I'm going to call on them individually and ask them to come forward and share with you why they do what they do to enhance the lives of our citizens. And so the first one I want to call on is Butterfly Bridge, Emily Hutchison. Emily, if you'll come forward and share with us.
Good morning. My name is Emily Hutchison, and I am the Assistant Director at Butterfly Bridge. And what we do at Butterfly Bridge is we are a children's advocacy center. And so what we do is we provide a safe, child-friendly environment to children who are victimized by abuse or neglect. And the way we do that is through a few different services. Our first service that kind of gets the children referred to our agency is what we call a forensic interview. And so what that is that's a time when we have trained staff who talk to the children and gather all the information from that child about the allegations. And we do that in a way that is, first, it's not traumatizing to the child because we don't want to further traumatize them after they've already gone through something like abuse. Also, it's developmentally appropriate. So we can talk to children anywhere from the age of about 3 up to 17, and we're able to change the way we talk to each age level depending on their development. And so we do these forensic interviews for law enforcement and the Department of Human Resources. So they're the ones who actually call us and set up those interviews, and they actually come as well, but they watch the forensic interview from a totally separate room because we have cameras in the room. So they're able to watch through a closed-circuit TV. So that means that that child or teenager only has to talk to one person about what's happened to them instead of having to talk to multiple people. So once again, that is lessening the trauma that they're having to go through. And so after that forensic interview that we do, we provide a copy to law enforcement on a DVD, and that becomes part of the evidence in their case. And then if it ever goes to court, there are instances where sometimes that forensic interview is played at trials, and so that also helps with the cases as well. Another service that we provide is therapy. So we provide therapy to all the children, and that's a free service. It's a trauma-focused type therapy, so it's strictly geared towards the trauma that child has suffered. And we can see those children as long as needed. So we have some kids that have come to us for 6 months at a time. We have some that have been there for over 2 years. Do what? Oh, my time's almost up. Okay, so one of the cool things that we get to do is we get to partner with Tamara Martin with the Office of Prosecution Services and her facility dogs. I'm going to let her talk.
Good morning. So my name is Tamara Martin, as Emily told you, and I work for the Office of Prosecution Services, and we have the HERO program, and what that stands for is Help, Empower, Restore, and Overcome. So we have 13 facility dogs that work around the state with your child advocacy centers like Butterfly Bridge, with your medical exams, therapy, those types of things, DHR, and our dogs provide comfort and support to crime victims as they go through the investigation and criminal prosecution in their cases. So all of our dogs are service trained, and so they know some fun commands, but they all know how to open doors, close doors, things like that. But they are there to give those children and individuals that need that extra support the courage to speak up and to say the things that they need to say. And a lot of times we find that the kids will actually tell the dogs more than they will tell the humans because they know that they are safe and that they aren't going to ask a lot of questions. But I know you can't see Yahini, but she is here. I'll see if she can do an up for you. Yahini, right here. Up. Right here. Up. No. Up. Come on. Up. There she is. So if you can see her. Okay. Off. But anyway, like I said, we have 13 of them working around the state. They're all spread out. And all of our services are free of charge. We also work with the schools if there's ever some type of mass victimization or an incident that where a student passes away related to a crime, we can come in and help work with the students and work with the school resource officers and the guidance counselors. So,
All right, thank you for that very much. Now we want to call on Michelle Wood with Elmore County Department of Human Resources.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Wood, and I am the director for the Elmore County Department of Human Resources. And I have to follow the dog, which is not fair. So, a lot of you may have heard of the DHR, or the Department of Human Resources, and have an idea of what you think we do. However, DHR does a variety of different things. And DHR was created in 1935 by the Social Security Act to administer programs that were part of that act. And the programs were developed to hold Americans, or to help Americans that were suffering through the Great Depression at the time. Some programs have changed over the years to help meet the needs of the current citizens that we serve. However, the primary goal of all of our programs has been for the protection, the well-being, and the self-sufficiency of children and adults. So DHR provides a number of services to the community to include food assistance, or food stamps, which some of you may know, child support services, family assistance through our TANF, or Temporary Aid to Needy Families and Jobs program, adult protective services, child protective services, foster care, adoption, and child care. So we have a lot of programs. I will give just a brief overview of each of those programs, but we employ, in my office alone in Elmore County, I have 45 employees that run each of these programs. And we employ everyone from people that have a GED or a high school diploma all the way to master's level employees. So we are here to serve the public. And just a few numbers before I have to step down. Last year in our food assistance program, we served an average of 3,671 households in Elmore County that received food assistance for a total of $7.8 million that came back into Elmore County for people to purchase food that they normally would not have the money to do so. And then last year, we do investigate child abuse and neglect, as Emily spoke about a little bit. We partner with several agencies within the county to do that. And last year, we investigated 462 reports of potential abuse and neglect of children in Elmore County, 674 children in those reports. So we are quite busy, and we do our best to make sure that we are serving the citizens of Elmore County, to make sure that everyone can live in a safe, nurturing, loving environment and feel comfortable within their community. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nat. All right, now we're going to call on the Family Sunshine Center with Wendy Fuller coming to speak. And I believe we may have all seen Tay Knight walking around with their facility dog. I don't see her now, but Wendy, if you'll come share with us.
Good morning. So like I said, I'm with the Family Sunshine Center. We are a nonprofit agency that serves victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. And we have several different services that we provide. Number one is our 24-hour crisis line. So this may be the one time today that you're asked to take out your phone, but I'm asking you to take out your phone. I want you to put this number in your phone. The number is 334-263-0218. I'll say that again. It's 334-263-0218. This is the crisis line for anyone who's experiencing domestic violence, sexual assault, or human trafficking, and they can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's going to be answered by a live person who's going to be able to give them assistance immediately. We also offer emergency shelter for anyone who's fleeing those types of violence, and that stay in that shelter can last for 1 day to several days to months, depending on each client's needs. We have counseling services that we provide for adults and children who've experienced those types of violence, and for children, any type of trauma that they've experienced. So we work closely with DHR and Butterfly Bridge as well for children who've experienced child abuse or trauma from any other form. The other thing that we provide for our clients and for the community is outreach and prevention services. We have a team that goes out into the community and talks to students and adults as well about how to have healthy relationships. And so Tay Knight is with us. She's our executive director, and she does have Louisa with her, who's our facility dog. And just like the one that we talked about earlier, she is in our center and in the community to help with those who need extra support to share their stories. So she'll be around today so you guys can get to see her a little more. All right, thank you.
All right. All right, next we're going to call on the Alabama Department of Public Health, Nada Alasi, and she serves as the public health educator.
Yeah, good morning. Hi, everyone. My name is Netta, and I'm a public health educator with the Alabama Department of Public Health. So what that means is that I do outreach and education for the local health department that you guys go to. And you guys may be familiar with the things that you're forced to go to us for, so like your birth certificate or an immunization record, but we actually do a lot of clinical services as well that I want to touch about. So basically we do our WIC program, if you guys don't already know, so our Women's Infants and Children's program for anyone who has a child under the age of 5 or they're pregnant, mothers, just to make sure that they're healthy and that they have groceries that they need. We also do family planning, but I promise it's much more than that, because you can get your your birth control, so that includes getting condoms for free from the local health department, and we're like less than 5 minutes away from here. You can also get testing for STDs and STI and HIV, which are very high in the state right now. And a part of that is because we wanted to touch on the HPV vaccine, because that vaccine is something that you can get from the age of 9 years old up to the age of 45. And it prevents 6 different types of cancer, including cervical cancer, which are also really high in the state of Alabama. So things like that are services that we provide. We really just want to have the ultimate goal of promoting, protecting, and improving the public's health. So we're just trying to do more involvement with the community, getting out there, telling you guys topics about how to improve your health and what resources we provide and that we can connect you guys with as well. So thank you.
All right, next we're going to call on Katrina Mitchell with the Extension Office.
Good morning. Great looking group of young people here. My name is Katrina Mitchell. I'm with the Alabama Cooperative Extension System. You might not have ever heard of us, but has anybody here heard of 4-H? Anybody? A couple of people? All right. That's one of our many programs. We are the outreach education arm of Auburn University, War Eagle, and Alabama A&M. Just like what I said, we are the outreach education arm. We teach. We teach for topics that cover nearly every area of life, pretty much from birth on all the way up. So I want to tell you about some of these topics we talk about, so you can be thinking as you're talking about careers, thinking of the things that you like to do. The cool thing is we do so much of this, you might go, I'd like to teach people about this thing that I like to do. So we cover things like home horticulture, which would be vegetable gardens, flower gardens, trees, lawns, commercial horticulture. Think in terms of cash crops. People a lot of times come in our office and say, hey, I just inherited some property, or just bought some property, what can I do with it? Agronomic crops. I know when you ride around Elmore County, you'll see cotton fields, corn fields, soybean. So we have agents that talk about that. Aquaculture, if you're into fishing or anything like that, we have fish farms. We teach how to do hydroponics and those kinds of things. Forestry, wildlife, and natural resources. Maybe you like to be out in the woods. We have agents that can tell you how to manage your fish pond, how to take care of and manage the forest that we enjoy. Animal science, obviously cattle, sheep, goats, chickens. We have an agent that can help you make sure that you're growing the things you need to have healthy animals, not have some poisonous plants down in your pasture. Food safety, when you go to McDonald's or Dairy Queen or Zaxby's or somewhere, someone in each of those restaurants had to go through a program called Serve Safe. It's there to keep you safe so you don't get sick from the food they serve. Health and nutrition, diabetes is a huge issue, and we have quite a few initiatives on that, as well as other things to do with nutrition. And, of course, 4-H. And 4-H, kind of like Extension in general, covers a wide range. We have STEM activities, animal science, art, character, leadership. Every county in this state has an extension office and supported by our local county commissions, which we're grateful. But we also have grants that allow us to do different programs that meet the needs of the county. In our office, we have several grants and have had for a number of times that teaches parenting. Some of you may have known some friends that even made a decision to have a child at a younger age. We have people that work with them. We have people that work with parents all through different stages, and healthy relationships and internet safety, things like that. So if you've ever thought about what you might want to do as you're thinking about it and there's something you like, this might be a way of getting involved in education without actually having to just be in a classroom every day. But if you have any questions, see us afterwards.
All right, next we're going to call on Rhea Cord with the Humane Society of Elmore County. Rhea?
I'm Rhea Cord. I'm the director for the Humane Society of Elmore County, and a bunch of you have probably been there or you have pets from us, which I'm very grateful. We've been there for over 30 years, just up the way on Highway 9. We are what is called an open admission shelter with government contracts. So while we are a nonprofit, we also do a government role for the county of Elmore so that this commission or the sheriff doesn't have to run an animal shelter, which I think they like. So we take care of that. That means that citizens of Elmore County can bring in animals they have found. The animal control officers from Elmore County and all of the cities, Millbrook, Wetumpka, Elmore, Tallahassee, bring any strays and animals that they bring in. We will work with animal control on cruelty and neglect cases because we will be the agency that houses those animals if there is a prosecution ongoing, which can sometimes take a very, very long time. And so we will work with everybody there. We do take owner-surrendered animals from citizens of Elmore County. And then, so what we do, the animal control officers, people, when they're relinquished to us, if they're a stray, we're going to hold them for 7 days in state law because I'd really rather to get that animal back to its home than have to go find it a new home. But after those 7 days, then if we can't find, if no owner has showed up, then we will start working to find new futures for those animals. So adoptions, we work with rescue groups. Holtville, who knows Popcorn or Captain, that were school dogs. Those actually, Popcorn was the first service school dog in Elmore County, came from our shelter, Brittany Spaniel, the Springer Spaniel, excuse me. We have worked with these agencies that have these wonderful dogs here and have many dogs that have gone on. We've had 2 doodles in the last few months that are now veteran service dogs. We work with the USDA, and we have dogs that are working in airports and seaports to detect food items coming into the country. So we're working lots of avenues for our animals when they have potential, besides just, of course, adoptions, which is what we really love. We do focus primarily on dogs and cats. That's going to be 99% of our intake. A couple of years ago, an interesting phenomena, cats overtook our dogs on our percentage, but it's about 50-50, but the cats succeeded, and it's so far going that way again. We do take small pocket pets, your guinea pigs, rabbits, snakes, things like that. Mostly guinea pigs and rabbits are the predominant, but we've had birds and tortoises and iguanas and a few weird things here or there. A few goats and pigs have come in that went home in their cars with their collars on. That was kind of fun. We do not take surrendered livestock because we simply do not have a place to put a cow, a horse. We don't have that kind of land. So what we would work with animal control if there is a cruelty case involving livestock, and we will work with them on how we can help those animals as that case moves forward. So we have a tremendous volunteer group. Many of you have come to the shelter over time. And we have a thrift store there that is 100% volunteer run that has been a game changer for us because of the money from it comes into our shelter. So our donors, our supporters, the businesses in Elmore County, your parents, you, everybody, we are very grateful for your support, and we will be there for a very long time to help animals in need.
All right, now we're going to call on Tim Wheeler with the Elmore County Juvenile Probation.
Good morning. Hey, my name is Tim Wheeler. I'm a juvenile probation officer in Elmore County. We have a total of 3 officers that work with this county. We have approximately a total of 75 years experience working with kids. We supervise over 120 kids. We supervise kids under 18 years of age. We serve the families with the Elmore County Family Support Program, the JCC program, and we also have the parenting classes as well. We also work with the local law enforcement, DHR as well, along with the local schools, and also this other surrounding agencies. Now, when you talk about probation, people think I'm probably on the negative side of that. But our goal is to try to change kids' lives. That's our main goal. It's hard, but we try to do what we can to make that happen. And we try to do what we can to let the kids know that we're there for them and they can be successful in their everyday lives. Thank you.
Right, now we're going to call on Michelle Willis with the Elmore County Pregnancy Center.
I may know a few people here. My name is Michelle Willis. I'm with the Executive Director at the Elmore County Pregnancy Center, and we've been around since before all of you were born. In 1994, we were started. We are a free resource, and we are a confidential resource for pregnancy tests, ultrasounds. We do educational classes. We call them Earn While You Learn. And our moms and our dads, we have a male volunteer that works with our dads. They can come in and they can earn what we call mommy money and daddy dollars. And they can have educational classes all the way from the time that they find out that they are pregnant all the way through until their child goes to preschool. And they can earn those dollars and they can go upstairs into our baby boutique and they can buy diapers and wipes and clothing and high chairs and strollers and anything that they would need for their baby. We love the fact that we've got some of our moms who don't even have to buy diapers ever their first year of their baby's life. We love providing that resource for them. We are a complete 501c3 nonprofit, so that's all because of the community that supports us and donates to us, and we just appreciate that support. We also offer options coaching through our client advocates, and we work very closely with a couple of adoption agencies if someone wants to go through an adoption plan. And so we just provide these free resources for the girls and for the dads that want to come in there, and so that they know how to take care of their baby and they know how to have a thriving family. Thanks.
All right, the last agency we have is the Family Resource Center, and I'm calling Lakeisha Ross, so she'll come forward.
So if you'd like to hear more about Michelle, you can hear from her this evening at our banquet. I am Lakeisha Ross. I'm the Executive Director of the Elmore County Family Resource Center, where our mission is to connect families to resources. And so that's the whole goal for the Family Resource Center. Every single one of these agencies that you heard here today, we have worked with families to make sure that they're getting connected to these agencies. So our main service is to do intake and referrals. So what happens is a family comes to us, they let us know, hey, we have this going on. So we do that initial assessment, that intake, and then we route them on a path to make sure they're getting connected to the right agencies. Sometimes it may be just one agency and you just need the phone number. Other times it may be several agencies and we need to walk alongside you and make sure that you have those connections. Make sure that if for some reason when you reach out to those agencies, you didn't get a response back, so we follow up for you to make sure there's a warm handoff. In-house, over the years, we found out that we needed to provide some services for our clients, just in case if they're not getting connected to the services in our community. And so we started a workforce development program. This program helps with job readiness. So if there's skills that you want before you get into a job, we're able to help you develop those. We have job placement as well as job retention. So sometimes you get in a job and then you find out, man, there's all these barriers, transportation. I got, sometimes it's childcare issues. And so we help to make sure that those things are addressed for you so that you can keep that job, because it's really important for us. We also have our FACT program, Family Assistance Through Community Ties. And this is our school-based program. So we're right now in all the elementary schools in Elmore County. We are providing some non-academic services for those students. So if a student comes in and maybe needs some hygiene stuff, or maybe at home there's no bed. And so we're able to reach out to our community agencies and get bedding for them. And so it may be anything, but we are at the elementary schools, but not in the elementary schools. If you're in middle school or high school, you always can reach out to the Family Resource Center. We have our Facebook page that you can always hear about what's going on in the community. We try to share all of our partners' posts to make sure you know what's going on. We have our website, www.ecfrc.org, so you can always go there. And we are located here in Wetumpka, but we're working on getting other areas. So we are beside Butterfly Bridge if you ever are looking for us. So come and see us.
All right, we appreciate that. And we appreciate all these agencies for taking time today to come share with us. And we appreciate your passion and dedication to our citizens in Elmore County. If any of the students would like more information about any of these agencies, please contact them directly, or you can always contact the commission office, and we'll pass along that information. Again, I want to say how much we appreciate our elected officials and these agencies for being with us today and taking time to share and be here with our seniors. Now we're going to move into the county commission meeting. So if you'll give us just a second, we will call that to order. All right, I want to welcome everybody to the Elmore County Commission work session and business meeting for April 13th, 2023. I'll call this meeting to order. I'll ask Commissioner Hines to offer invocation and Commissioner Hill to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Hines.
Bow your heads, please. Kind gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day you give us, Lord, and thank you to these young men and women that you have brought to us today, that we can be good leaders for them and set a good example for them, Lord, and let each and every one of them leave today with the knowledge of that they can do a better thing for the world and be good Christians, faith for them, Lord. Kind gracious Heavenly Father, thank you again for this wonderful day and the many blessings you give us, Lord, in the name of thy prayer. Amen.
Ms. Brittany, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hines.
Here.
Commissioner Daughtry.
Here.
Chairman Mercer.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Jackson.
Here.
Thank you. On an ongoing basis, the County Commission has recognized the youth in our county that have won championship titles in team and individual sports. And today, the first three agenda items are to recognize 3 schools for championships in team and individual sports. And I will read each of these agenda items and give a few facts about the championship season. And then I will ask for motion for a vote and to adopt the resolution we have in front of us. I will tell you, after we adjourn this meeting, we ask that the groups that are receiving these proclamations today to remain in your seat, and we will call on you to come front to receive your proclamation, and we'll take a photo. If I could ask for the PCA girls basketball team, if you would please stand. All right, there they are in the back corner. Arnie. A resolution recognizing Prattville Christian Academy girls basketball team as the 2023 AHSAA 4A state champions. This is PCA's third consecutive Alabama Athletic Association state title, having won the 3A classification the last 2 years, and then moving up to 4A this year to win the state title again. We appreciate what y'all have done, and we appreciate the hard work it's taken to do this. You may be seated. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve this resolution that's listed?
I make that motion.
Second.
Ms. Brittany, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daltrey?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
All right, next we'll move to, if I could ask the Edgewood girls basketball team if you would stand. All right, there they are right in the center. A resolution recognizing Edgewood Academy girls basketball team, AISA 2A state champions. This is Edgewood's second consecutive AISA state title for the girls basketball program, and it's actually the first team in school history that has gone undefeated and then won back-to-back state titles. So that is a great accomplishment. Very impressive. You may be seated. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I make a motion.
Is it two? You got a
Second.
motion and a second?
Second.
Okay, all right.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daltrey?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
All righty, next item, if I could ask the Edgewood Academy boys basketball, if you would please stand. All right, there they are. All right, a resolution recognizing the Edgewood Academy boys basketball team as AISA 2A state champions. Edgewood's team finished this year, this 2023 season, with a record of 23-4 in regular play and won the fourth state title for AISA in boys basketball program. Congratulations. You may be seated. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve this resolution as presented?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Brittany, call the roll.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daltrey?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
All right, the next agenda item is recognizing a Stanhope High School student for winning a state title in an individual sport. Colin Russo, if you're here, could you please stand? He's right in the back. Righty. All right. A resolution honoring the achievements of Colin Russo, AHSAA Class 6A Wrestling State Champion, 170-pound weight class. Colin, appreciate it. Congratulations on your accomplishment. The Alabama High School Athletic Association named Connor Russo the 2023 Class 6A Wrestling Champion in the 170-pound weight division, and is also named the 2023 Elmore County Wrestler of the Year. Connor finished the season with a 48-1 record, and he is a senior at Stanhope Elmore High School and has been wrestling since he was 8 years old. Congratulations, sir. You may be seated. Is there a motion to approve this resolution as presented, Commissioners?
Make that motion.
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daltrey?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
I'm sure my fellow commissioners will have some comments about these accomplishments as well during the commission comment period, but let's give all these athletes another round of applause. The next two agenda items are related to bringing awareness to two very serious problems in our society today, and that is child abuse and sexual assault. The first agenda item is the Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. Michelle Wood and her staff at Elmore County DHR, they do a wonderful job in bringing awareness to the child abuse in Elmore County. And just last week, they had a pinwheel planting event on the courthouse grounds that you may have seen when you arrived this morning. We appreciate what DHR does. We appreciate what they do in working with our court system and our Judge Patrick Pinkston and our other judges to keep this issue in front of the citizens, because it would take all of us to prevent our children in Elmore County from being victims of abuse. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve this resolution as presented?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Brittany, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Next item is Sexual Assault Awareness Month proclamation. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and this is something that takes place way too often in society, and unfortunately in Elmore County as well. But we have Tay Knight and her staff at the Family Sunshine Center that are working to bring awareness to this problem and to serve the county, the Elmore County citizens that are victims of abuse. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Brittany, call the roll.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
We'll now move on to regular business in the agenda. Review of the minutes of the March 27th, 2023 commission meeting. Any questions or comments from Mr. Byer? All righty. No questions. All righty. We'll move on. Is there a motion to approve this agenda item?
I make a motion.
Second.
Ms. Brittany, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
A review of the memorandum of warrants for a period of March 18th, 2023 through March 31st, 2023. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, for that time period, the memorandum warrants was $2,184,249.73.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Byer? Is there a motion to approve this agenda item?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Brittany, call the
Commissioner
roll,
Hines?
please.
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
All right, now we'll move on to the consent docket. Approve proposed plat for Allen Place, Phase 1, 12 lots. Approved cemetery application at 6191 Lightwood Road, Deatsville, Alabama for New Hope Baptist Church. Is there a motion to approve the consent docket as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
All right, next item is personnel notifications. Notification of hire of Brian Phelps, Project Inspector 1, effective 3/27/2023. Notification of rehire of Rhonda Penn, part-time Park and Rec Youth Counselor, Crenshaw Park Summer Program, effective 5/29/2023 through 8/4/2023. Notification of rehire of Ted Cotton, part-time Park and Rec Youth Counselor, Crenshaw Park Summer Program, effective 5/29/2023 through 8/4/2023. Now we move to our reports to the commission. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have a report today, but just for the benefit of the students, this would be typically where I would give a report on ongoing projects and updates for the commission that are noteworthy to be shared in the different districts and with the media.
All right, thank you. Now we'll move to reports from the commissioners. Commissioner Hines.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I want to thank all of you coming today and participating. You know, this is a big part of moving on with your life as a senior, is making your next steps in life. But I want to congratulate all the winners of the ball teams and the individuals today. You know, being sports-minded as I am, that's something that every day I am about teams. Together, everybody accomplishes more. And that's what you can do in life, is working together is accomplish a lot of things. We had a huge cleanup this last weekend on March 31st, the 1st and 2nd, and there was a lot of you that participated in it as students and your coaches and your leaders, and we had 25 groups out there picking up trash on our right-of-ways. That's huge, and I want to remind you every day to take a little bag and put in your vehicle and put your trash in it and don't let it fly out, because, you know, Elmore County is a beautiful county, and the good Lord give us a beautiful state that we can live in and take care of. So let's be diligent on that. Next of all is that I want to thank our highway department and all of our infrastructures, because we have 5 categories that we work with, and that's what I'm in charge of. And our highway department does an outstanding job every day of working there, and we have a lot of great employees and staff members there. But the biggest thing I want to talk about today is that, you know, life is a moment. It takes 1 second or 2 seconds in your life that can ruin it. And that moment is one decision you can make, good or bad. Make a career, not a job decision. Make a decision not to step out when someone decides, a little gang, they want to go harass or tear up a ball field or something. This day and time, you know, it's so easy to be a follower and not a leader. And today you can step forward and become a leader, and that's what we did as county commissioners, and you can sit in this seat one day and recognize that and be great leaders for your community, and community leaders, and a great Christian for your community also. You know, when you're picking a career, again, don't just pick a job, pick a career, something you're going to like and to work with. And, you know, everyone's not that perfect person that goes to college. I was not one of those. I chose sales to go into, and, you know, everything is sold out there, whether it's this pen or whether it's a piece of paper. But if you don't go to college, get a trade school and go out there and get a good trade and take care of your life and your family. But the biggest thing, again, is live your life today like it could be the last one, because tomorrow may never come. Just be a good citizen, a good student, and respect your parents. Thank you.
Commissioner Daughtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Byer mentioned that if you're not registered to vote, that you can become registered today. And a lot of us think, well, my vote's not going to count, just one vote. Anybody remember the state legislative race in the last election in Auburn, where one vote won the race, made the difference, and thousands of votes came down to one vote? So that's a testament that your vote does count. Even on this commission, I can remember a time several years ago when 7 votes counted in one race. So your vote matters, and I hope if you're not registered today, before you leave, that you'll become registered. 2 other things I want to mention very briefly. You're so blessed to live in Elmore County, one of the fastest growing counties in the state of Alabama. I live in the Lake Martin area. I'm asked quite often when people are thinking about moving to Elmore County, particularly the lake area, they ask 2 primary questions. How's your law enforcement and judicial system, criminal justice system? They want to know about the crime rate. And secondly, they want to know about the educational system. Well, I could talk for hours on both of those. I think we've got one of the best law enforcement communities in the state. In fact, I know we do, because I've been a part of it for 38 years. And so is Commissioner Hill. And also, I think we got one of the best educational systems, without a doubt, in the state. I look at you, and I'm so proud of you, because you're products of that system, and I can only imagine what you're going to accomplish in the future. I have 2 kids. One of them's 46, one of them's 43. I still call them kids. Both of them are products of the Elmore County education system, Elmore County High School. Went through school all the way in Elmore County. Proud papa talking, but it's just a testament to our educational system in this county. One of them became a doctor, and one of them became an international business person for the past 22 years. I say that because when they got to universities, they were ready because of the Elmore County school system. So every faculty member, every support personnel, and you as students should be very, very proud of your educational system, because you can do anything you want to do. I know that's a cliche, but it's so very true. So many counties in this state are hungering for funds, in need of funds, in need for support. But our education system has the support and has the management, has the teachers, has the facilities, wonderful facilities. So you are very blessed, and I am so very, very proud of you. Last thing I'll say, law enforcement related, because I don't get this opportunity to talk to this many seniors at one time. One of the speakers earlier mentioned the area of human trafficking. That's something we never heard about a few years ago. I never heard about it, and I've been in law enforcement for years until a few years ago. But now it's a big part of life, comes in numerous forms. The number 1 tool they use is this. All of you, practically all of you, are on some sort of social media, Twitter, some sort of media. I'll just leave with this. If somebody wants to chat with you or start a conversation and you don't know them, don't do that. That's exactly the way they get started. So if you remember nothing else today, if you'll remember that, I'll be happy. And I think that'll take you a long way, because this is a great tool, but it's also a tool that can be used by the bad folks. And all the judges that left out and had to go to their court cases, I'm sure will attest to that fact. So I wish you well in the future, nothing but blessings, and I'm so very proud of you. Thank you.
Commissioner Hill.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to take this moment to let y'all know that tomorrow at 10 a.m., the third annual Ability Games are going to kick off here in Wetumpka, over at the Wetumpka Sports Complex, and Governor Ivey is going to be here to open up the ceremonies. So I encourage everyone to come out and support this. I'd like to say how proud I am of our athletic teams here in Elmore County. We are constantly, seems like, honoring y'all, and especially when we give a shout out to Edgewood Academy, because I sat on the board out there for a number of years, and my children graduated high school out there. So I'm proud of what y'all did, and I'm proud of all our schools. My emphasis on the commission is education. I'm a product of Elmore County Schools, Tallahassee High School, class of 1977, so yes, I'm old. I have grandchildren that are enrolled in Hopeful High School. So I'm very involved with our school system. I work real well with the Board of Education here, and we are very blessed in Elmore County with our education system. We have a technical center over there that is phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about it. And it gives people a chance to learn a trade, learn a skill, and not have to go to college and spend 4 years. You can actually come out from over there and start a job. And I know several young people have done that. I'm probably I am the newest member on the Elmore County Commission. I was appointed by Governor Ivey in the end of November of last year. I took Mr. Stubbs' place. He was elected to the House of Representatives. And so I've only been on the commission now about 6 months, and it's been a learning process. I can tell you, though, I do have a regret. And my regret is that I waited until I was 64 years old to get involved in government. I can tell you that most days, the sheriff and I and a group, we eat lunch down at Must Stop Cafe, and if you could come sit with us, in an hour's time, we solve the problems of the world. It's amazing that we keep saying if they just put us in charge for a few days, we'd work everything out. But I do. I look back. I've been in law enforcement now going on 34 years. I'm a retired lieutenant from now the State Bureau of Investigation. I'm still a deputy sheriff here, so I'm very involved in the county. But, you know, I've sat on several state law enforcement boards and stuff, but never, you know, I could sit and complain about government all day and the things, but I never really took an active interest in it until this opportunity come up. And plus, what got me started was I looked at our nation, and I realized that if we don't make some changes, we will no longer be the greatest nation on this earth. And I felt like the best place to start was here at the county level. And I encourage y'all to do the same thing. You know what? Nothing stops you now from coming to a commission meeting, board of education meeting, your city council meetings. You need to start educating yourselves now on how government works. And you need to make up your mind now if you want to be involved and learn all that you can and get involved, because y'all are the future. Without y'all, there's not going to be a strong United States of America. And I encourage y'all to get involved in government and make it work the way it needs to. Thank you.
Commissioner Jackson.
Good morning, everyone. With being one of the last ones to speak, I know everybody is itching to get outside to see all the cool stuff we have set up for you, so I'm not going to hold you long. Commissioner Hill just pretty much told you that he was old, but you're not old, you're just well-seasoned.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and while he's the newest one on the commission, I'm one of the youngest. And I always want to just express that to our seniors, that you can do exactly what the 5 of us are sitting up here doing today. 16 years ago, I sat in the exact same spot in the same courthouse, but we didn't have this section. for County Government Day. And I was a wide-eyed senior. Graduation was next month. I was going to University of Alabama, Roll Tide. And you know, I got to see all that Elmore County offered. And back in 2007, when I was a student at Wetumpka High School, I didn't realize what all Elmore County offered. But you too can sit in this exact same seat, get involved in county government, and run the county, help people out, help the community, because there is no limit on what you can achieve. Everybody been to prom yet? No? Oh, has somebody got prom this weekend? Okay, what school? What's Hopeful? All right, well, I hope you all have a wonderful prom. I know everyone else has probably had theirs, and everyone has graduation. I do wish you all success in what you do. If you have any questions, we're each online. You can pick up the phone, call us if you have any questions. We are here for you. We are so proud of you. To our sports teams, to each one of you, congratulations. That is awesome. We are very, very proud of you, and we are honored to recognize you at each commission meeting anytime we have. So thank you.
Thank you. I have it's a great honor to serve with such a good group here on this commission, and I appreciate what they do for the citizens of the county. Moving on along with the agenda item, we're now going to call on Ms. Brittany DeRee and important calendar dates.
Sunday, April 16th through Wednesday, April 19th is the NACE Annual Conference in Orange Beach, Alabama. Monday, April 24th will be our next commission work session at 5 p.m. with the business meeting immediately following. And then on Monday, May 8th, we'll have a commission work session at 5 p.m. here with the business meeting immediately following.
Thank you, Ms. Brittany. The next agenda item is we will be adjourning the meeting, but before we do that, I want to tell you that after we adjourn, I'll be asking Ms. Brittany to come up and give you some additional information for what's going to take place after the meeting. And then just want to remind those groups that are going to receive a proclamation. Just remain in your seat, and once everyone has exited the courtroom, we will get you and bring you up and present you with your document and get a photo. Commissioners, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay.
Ms. Brittany, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
We are adjourned.